Beyond the Badge is brought to you by the Edina Crime Prevention Fund.
My name is Jason Bear. I've been with the Edina Police Department since 1998. 2 years as a community service officer, then I'm a police officer since the year 2000. The drone is very easy to deploy. Generally, it just consists of pulling the wings out or the propellers out and putting in a battery, starting up the controller, making sure it's connected to an internet source. From there, we make sure there's a checklist that we follow, making sure that the correct authorizations are there to fly, the weather is good to fly, and once all that's met, you're good to go. The image that it produces is amazing. It's very clear, it's 4K, and then the zoom capability depends on the drone itself. It can zoom from quite a distance away. A drone is essentially a flying camera. So if you can put something up above and you can see a larger area, you can cordon that off obviously with people, and we can send that video out to the officers on the road too. It works for de-escalation as well. We can send a drone into a situation where we don't need to send a human, or we can watch from afar and wait till a situation is safer to move into. We have 9 total drone pilots in Edina. Early on during the development of the program, it was quite obvious that this couldn't be just a one-man show, it had to be a team effort. So we have a total of 4 drones right now. One larger one, which has a larger sensor on it, larger camera on it, so it's able to see more from further away. Well, a medium-sized drone, that's kind of the bread and butter drone. That's the one that goes in the squad car every day with the officer. That medium size allows it to be deployed quickly, which is important on the road, and then it requires very little time to set up. We have 2 smaller drones, which are meant for interior flight. With a drone, it is very efficient, right? It costs pennies on the dollar to charge a battery. Conversely, if you put a helicopter in the air, it costs about $1,000 just to start it or fly it out here. There's also a time difference, right? We talked about the medium drone being able to deploy almost immediately. A helicopter would take us somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour to get here. The difference between maybe a civilian drone and the drones that we use is the ability to have a thermal camera in it so we can see at nighttime. It's the seeing through the darkness, bringing the darkness to light. We are able to light up an area if need be, or stay dark depending on what the situation may be. You can see a person running using the heat of their body. You'd see the engine area or the tire area of the cars be bright white. Easily identifiable as being hot. One of the cool things you could see with the camera after a suspect left, you could see actually where they've been potentially on the ground, the depression in the vegetation or the heat from that. And then if someone's in an area for a longer period of time, it's going to warm up the stuff around them. Obviously, it's dependent on how cold it is outside. Less so when it's hot outside, more so when it's cold outside. One of the benefits of using a drone in a wooded area is we can get lower, right above the treetops. So we could use that to our advantage to see through some of the foliage. Obviously, we use angles and flying from the side to see down through the trees, but a thermal camera would still work at nighttime. The Edina Crime Prevention Fund was who funded the program 100% initially, and then the department assisted with providing the manpower, the hours for training. A low-cost alternative like this, we could put a drone inside a structure versus a dog or a person. It's durable. Obviously, you can see it's got guards on the prop there, so it can run into walls and bounce off the walls and continue to go. What's different about it is that we use goggles to fly it versus just a handheld controller to see what the drone sees as it flies. It's very different than the other ones that we use just because of the fact that you're immersed in the goggles as you're flying it. So it takes a little more skill, a little more practice. We have someone else with us because of the situational awareness. When you're closed off to the outside world because of goggles, you need someone to watch your back. Privacy is a concern, and if it's a concern to the public, it's a concern to us. So What we do is we have a software system that works in the back end for accountability purposes. It's able to record all aspects of the flight, from the distance away, how high the drone was, where the camera was pointed at all time, and that's able to be played back after the fact as long as it's stored in the system. So the state legislature in 2020 put forth a law that says that there has to be one of 9 reasons for a drone to be flown without a search warrant. So one of those 9 reasons has to be met in order for us to fly. If it doesn't exist, then we don't fly. Use of drone video is restricted, or it's classified under Minnesota data practice laws. The drone footage either has to be classified as an active investigation, or it would have to be deleted within 7 days. Community engagement has been phenomenal with this, because the part that I enjoy the most is that old and young alike both ask questions, both are engaged and want to know about the program. One of the reasons to see it is to demystify or answer any of those questions that someone might have, to understand how we're using it to benefit the citizens and find people and keep people more safe. Technology is always evolving, as is law enforcement. Things change, right? So continuous crime reduction through technology is one of the chief's main objectives. If we can use this in conjunction with other department objectives, whether it's cameras in the city or license plate readers, we can supplement that with this to more effectively implement those technologies. My takeaway on drone technology is that it's kind of changed the landscape of law enforcement. It's one thing that's only going to progress and get more so as we continue to go into the future. It started its way with small things, and it's kind of become an everyday use for many different departments now.